came here.
Yeah.
Like this pressure of not doing work every day and expecting work and expecting more work.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a pressure for you?
It's like, it's not a pressure. See, that's why it's important that you need to have some sort of, like, that's why I took a break and I was continuously working. I took some time to decide. So financially I was okay. I made some money, I kept some, so financially you're good. You're not like, you're not depending on, and of course you have your parents' backup also. But but you can't every time, your first month you can ask, second month you can ask. After that, you're like, your parents are like, what are you doing? You left your job and you came here. So then that's always going to be there. But this, you don't let yourself, sometimes some movies you might have to do, where if you see financial gain, sometimes you do certain things for, you might take a lesser remuneration, but if the character and the team and everything is good, if it takes you to another level and you get that satisfaction, it all depends on how you want to, it's all up to that person sometimes. And I have this actor friend in Malayalam. He's like, and he's directed a movie. He's very famous. Okay, Dhyan Srinivasan. So Dhyan, I remember he telling me, like, I was like, Dhyan, he's so busy and he's going continuously, he's working, and whenever he's very funny, he's a funny person. And he mentioned this to me, saying that sometimes you just have to do movies because we are actors. This is what we are doing. This is our job. So as any other person, you have to consider this as a job. Yes, sometimes for me it's difficult to name a price tag on myself, on my acting, or for work. But sometimes you just have to stand strong in your ground and you say that, yes, this is what I am. And then that's where you make that decision whether you want to hike up your price or whether you want to lower your price, or things like that. And so he was saying that sometimes you just do movies to maintain that lifestyle, to maintain, you need to work. You can't say that, you can't go to a grocery store and say, oh, I'm an actor, give me this. They will not do that. But when you go to, for when they come to you for something, like there are people who will come to actors or singers, or even to you, like everyone who is famous, they'll come to, like, can you just do this for us, can you just do this for us? And it doesn't work like that, like so you have to really stand your ground and make your this is a struggle that people really don't talk about. Many people in the industry, that they don't really talk about the struggles. They talk about all the, oh, the movie was fantastic, or the struggle in the movie,
only the glam side of the industry.
But these things, so anyone who's who wants to come to this, I know there are so many young men and women who want to be in the limelight and be. Always make sure that you stand your ground and you have financial independence. Don't put your head down to anyone. You know your worth. Don't let anyone else decide that for you. So for that is very important. I feel that is important, because at certain times, people will try to put you down by bringing your worth down. That doesn't mean that that's them. That's how much they can do. That doesn't have to indirectly mean your worth. If that makes sense.
Yeah. As we are speaking, I have a question here. Like, the male actors, if they get hit or they get familiar with a movie, I don't think they think twice to increase their remuneration. When it comes to female actors, the female actors they they think twice. Na remuneration nen penchocha, or else I should be continuing with the same amount right now I am receiving. Why do you think there is this kind of discrimination? Not about the actual remuneration part. Thinking from the actor's perspective, no, they only like kind of worried to increase their remuneration.
Now it happens. Why? Because most of our movies are men oriented, like actor oriented. Female oriented or female importance, right now it's slightly increasing or changing. Like, but if you take 1 in 100 movies that releases, majority of the people are going for to see the main actor there. That's why it's again, that's why they get paid more if it is his movie. Even the females also, like, so it's important for us, like as female artists, or and then there comes another thing of, like, there there are so many people ready to work for free also.
Exactly.
They're ready to work for
They have
very
replacement
less.
for you, but
Yeah.
not for the.
Exactly. So then that's where you make your worth. You know, you work on yourself, and now there is brilliant opportunities. It's not like back in the day, like when we were growing up, where we only had a handful of directors. There are so many new directors, brilliant directors. There are brilliant cameramen, and so many like technicians also. There's so many good technicians, and you have different platforms. Everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and this 10-second, 30-second reels, you're entertained.
Yeah.
You know, it's not before, yeah, you have to go and watch a movie to get entertained.
Exactly.
Now you don't need that. You have your platform. The world is your platform. So you don't have to be in the movies to, you know, create your worth. I know so many fantastic artists who are not actors, but they're famous. They're famous because they made their own.
Yeah, they are visible every time,
Everywhere. Yeah, on Instagram, on YouTube, on you know, wherever they have made their place there. So that's what I feel now. Like, it's not like before. If you really put your mind to it, and you know, you can have. You can do
At the end of the day, it's your dedication and determination.
Yeah,
that brings you work.
That brings you work. And if you're consistent with that, it will come. It will come. You just have to be patient. Yeah. And this is where it gets very difficult.
For every act, exactly. Right. You're
you have to be patient. This waiting game, that's where it's very difficult sometimes, because sometimes you think that, what am I doing? You know, so for me, I have gone through that, like especially during the lockdown. First lockdown was fun. You know, it was like, oh, vacation. For me, it was an extended vacation. I was like, oh wow, I don't have to work. I can sleep. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Then I started getting busy towards the end of 2020, and then 2021 again, when the second or the third lockdown happened.
Second was severe.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, oh God, no, this is not okay, because I'm done sitting at home, and you know, I've always worked, and you know, for 10-12 hours, and I just couldn't sit at home. And I was like, what am I doing? You know, it's not about at that time I just wanted to work, like I just want to get out and just do something, like, so it was difficult. So everybody went through that. Like, it's not just a few people, everybody went through that. So that's a constant, you know, like, how can world just come to a standstill? And it humbles you in a way. It really humbles you down. Like, you know, doesn't matter who you are, what big you are, you know, that's enough. Like, a little virus which you can't see with your own eyes is enough to bring you, like, to your senses and bring you down. So it's very important that for us, you know, don't let all these things and people around us or whatever to affect us. Do what you think is, and be present, and mentally we just have to be so calm.
Yeah. But the only thing, we should thank COVID.
In a way, yes. Don't come back again.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Bringing this change in us.
Yes. Yeah, it was a big eye opener.
Exactly.
For many, I think, yeah.
After Mangalavaram, me character choosing vallu, the people who watched the film and seen your character, usually the common, they come up with the same kind of roles and ask you to do. Did it happen?
Yeah, I got another this thing also, like, where I'm playing. I was like, I don't want to do the same thing again.
From the Telugu industry or
other industries also, like even in Malayalam also I'm like, now I want to do something different, like, you know, it's something, so I really want to do a police character, like, yeah, you know, like, because I did one with that was a cameo. I just had to take 3 days leave from work in 2017, and I quickly just came down to, because it was with Mammootty sir.
Okay.
I always wanted to meet him, and you know, so I was like so fascinated, and my scenes were with him. So the movie's name is Masterpiece. So, okay, so I was playing a IPS role, like I was an IPS. I really loved the whole thing about, you know, it just gives you so much confidence. Like suddenly, you know, you're like, you know, you're so powerful with wearing your uniform, and I was like, something about uniforms just make you feel like so. And there are the 2 movies in Malayalam that's in the pipeline, which are police related, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that to materialize and everything to come in place. It's ready. We're ready to start.
Okay.
Maybe probably by July or August.
బట్ ఇమీడియట్గా వన్ హిట్ తర్వాత సేమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రోల్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు డిడ్ యూ థింక్ ట్వైస్ రిజెక్టింగ్ దెమ్ అంటే బిఫోర్ రిజెక్టింగ్ దెమ్?
No, if I see that's what I said. If it's a like even after Color, I got a lot of roles where like it's housewife, and you know there was a lip lock scene, and then lip lock. I'm like, you know, the director really convinced me for that role. It was necessary for that role, for like, you know, for that. That's the only reason why I did that. I am not a big fan of this lip lock. Yeah, I am not. I feel like it's too personal. It's too, you know, it's. I mean, I'm not saying it's. I won't do it again or whatever. But if it
should
really,
make sense.
yeah, it should make sense. But so many you know, I got so many offers and scripts, like, you know.
It makes it
And I'm
doesn't
like,
make any sense,
no,
but
dude,
it should be.
no, not happening. So I was like, no. So only if it like, and not only that, like, you know, sometimes it really has to be, you know, make sense in the even if it's any scene for that matter, even if it's like an angry scene, or if it's like when you're trying to kill someone. I see, like, I've done few movies like that which I'm learning from that. Like, you know, where I'm a killer in the movie, and that was before Mangalavaram that I did. Okay, so that's after that I got this Mangalavaram role. So I had to, but I said okay to Mangalavaram. I said okay to this movie also. Both were negative characters. So I will take similar roles if it actually makes sense to me. But sometimes when you go at the set, when it's narrated to you in a way, but when you are actually shooting for it, and when you finally see the movie, it's not how you perceived.
Yeah.
Or it's not how you have been told or narrated to. So sometimes then you realize that okay, you have to you know what questions to ask next. That's why I had a deep discussion with Ajay Bhupati sir, like, you know, okay, like as in why is she doing this, and why can't she just, you know, leave her husband and go, like, what? So you ask so many questions about the character, and then if it makes sense to you, at the end of the day, if it makes sense to you, if it has some common sense, because now you can't fool the audiences, you know. And most movies, if you see also, in Malayalam especially, if it is relatable to the audience, it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If it's relatable, movies, and that's why script is so important. And the script is the hero most of the time, you know. So it's important, like, if it makes sense to you at the end of the day, and if you can convey that to the why you're doing this. So I made few mistakes in the past where I'm like, oh, it's negative character, wow, and all that stuff, and I have fight scenes and everything. I'll take it up, wow, it's nice, but it didn't make sense. It didn't make absolute sense. Like, why am I doing this? But then I didn't realize it until I was there.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you just learn with experience.
Exactly.
So and that's how, like, you know, so still I'm learning. I'm still a learner, as I feel, like, you know. So that's why when they come with you know, okay, I did that in Color, like this lip lock scene in Color and whatever, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it in every movie. So I make sure that, like, I tell in the beginning itself, like, unless and until it's required, and I don't want to do it, like, it's not important to me or anything of that sort. And you know, to show, there's so many ways that you can show intimacy between two people. You know, you can just sit next to each other, and I feel that's where the beauty is.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have to be like
Not
on top
the
of each
actual
other.
act, but the conversation, then the
just
looks.
with a look, or you know, with a smile, or with how you are. That's enough, and that shows a lot of intimacy than actually, like,
doing the thing.
yeah, I mean, like, I mean, sometimes I find that. So unless and until it makes sense to me, or I'm not going to do it.
Nice.